Hi guys, I'm Joe Ison. I'm the founder and owner of Joe Ison Personal Training, and I specialize in helping busy men and women drop the unwanted body fat, help upgrade their mindsets and lives without having the need to restrict themselves or go on a boring, bland diet. And now, today, I'm going to share with you 3 pillars of health. And in my own way, what I believe should complement into making a healthier, more confident and happier version of yourself. And in fact, these are some of the same tips and insights that I use inside our one-to-one coaching program with our clients here in Ely and in Cambridgeshire. So, what are they? Exercise, nutrition, and lifestyle. The problem that I see with the fitness industry at the moment is there's so much confusion out there, and it can become really overwhelming and hard to find out what's right and what is wrong. We've got the other end of the spectrum where you're either doing too much of the wrong things, which can actually lead to seeing no physical change with your health and happiness. So hopefully after this video today, you'll be more educated, more knowledgeable on how to make those small improvements, which will have the bigger increases with your health and happiness. And more importantly, help bring a balance to all this. So without further ado, here we go. Now, exercise is super important. We all know the benefits and how much of a positive effect it can have on not just our physical health, with our mental health as well. Which is why I'm going to share with you as to why I believe everyone should be aiming to do some form of exercise, but more importantly, what type that I feel is right. I believe that everyone should be doing some form of resistance training 2 to 3 times a week at a minimum. Something as simple as doing body weight exercises can have such a massive carryover, which I'm going to demonstrate in just a second. So if you've got access to bands or dumbbells, that is great. You don't need a gym to get into shape. And some of my best clients who have transformed their bodies have done so with just minimal kit. But a big problem that I see come up quite often when I talk about resistance training is those individuals worrying that it's going to be bad for you and it's going to be bad for your joints, and cardio is the most important thing. I can tell you now it's completely false. Yes, cardio training is important. However, resistance training has some pretty important benefits too, such as decreasing osteoporosis, arthritis, catabolism of muscle, increasing your cardiovascular response, helping decrease some of the diseases, help improve your metabolic rate, and other benefits as well, including the way that you look and how you feel. So here's 3 simple bodyweight exercises that I want you to try that will pop up on the screen now that you can do with minimal kit and just with your own body weight. So here we go.
Bodyweight squat. Start this movement by placing your feet just outside hip distance. I recommend placing your toes slightly out too. Arms are keeping high, abs are tight. Begin by slowly descending into the squat position, trying to maintain a nice neutral posture. Try to avoid looking down or up. Try and keep your head in one fixated position. Pause again and ensure that your knees, are aligned with your hip bones. Push away from the floor using your heels and squeeze your glutes as hard as you can. Repeat for the desired amount of reps needed. Bodyweight push up variations. We're going to cover 2 here. First one being on the knees. Begin by having your hands nice and wide away from your body, fingers spread, keeping the hands down. It's a lot easier to push away from the floor than it is to start off at the top. So, here we go. Drive your hips up and really keep your core tight, making sure you retract your shoulder blades as you control your body weight back down. If you can do more than 15 reps, I'd highly suggest progressing to the next version, which is the full body. This is where your knees, your hips are going to lift up as well as your upper body. You can do 2 things here. You can come all the way back down so your chest touches the floor, or alternatively pause a few inches away from the floor. Repeat for as many reps as possible before progressing down the line. Bodyweight glute bridge. Begin this movement by laying on your back, position your feet, hip distance, and just so you can touch your hands on your ankles. Begin to lay back, head down, hands into the floor, and begin by driving up your hips to the ceiling. Drive through your heels to fully ensure that you load up your glutes, and try and squeeze and hold this position at the top for 2 seconds before coming back down. If you want to make the exercise slightly more challenging, simply raise your arms up, and this will ensure just a little bit more tension is being created in those muscles.
So now that we've covered your exercise, let's talk about your nutrition and lifestyle, the second pillars and the third pillars. With nutrition, I kind of like to keep things simple. Again, it's an area that is super confusing. There's so many diets, trends, and eating methods, it can become quite hard to find out what's right and what's wrong and to provide a long-term solution. But I feel it all comes down to your eating behaviours, your food quality, and basic science of calories in versus calories out. And I don't want to go into too much of a rabbit hole with this, as I'm sure we'll have some awesome nutritionists give their input as well. But with nutrition, I like to keep things simple. Your sole focus should be consuming foods that are around about 80% come from whole foods that contain all your essential vitamins, minerals, macronutrients from proteins, fats, and carbohydrate, with 20% from the foods that you actually enjoy, so the odd biscuit or the odd takeaway here and there. But more importantly, ensuring that you're mindful of how many calories you consume over the course of your day and your week. And if you'd like me to send you a shopping list with some examples, just drop me a message privately. I'll be happy to send this over to you for free. But essentially, guys, over-consuming and blaming one particular food group is silly and disregarding the actual fact and the reason for so many of our health problems stemming from the actual reason, which is overeating and lack of exercise. Not because of carbohydrates or fats being the issue, but consuming too much of what we love and not moving as much. Which now brings me on to my last tip, my last pillar, your lifestyle. We have a lifestyle, guys, which is made up of being mostly sedentary. We sit down too much and we don't move enough, which I believe is super important for ensuring that our health and happiness should be where it needs to be. So how do we fix this, Joe? We fix it by simply creating a lifestyle and life that creates movement. The more movement you can create through your day, your week, and your life, the healthier and happier you'll be, period. You want to create a lifestyle that is abundant in movement and activity. And most simple and effective way to do this, if you have no idea where to start, is by going for a walk. Or what I'd like to do is set up a daily step target. You can use a pedometer, an Apple Watch, a Fitbit, or a Garmin like I wear, or just by using your smartphone. Just look at your health app if you're unsure how to do this. This will have enormous benefits for your health because this is classed as NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which basically is activity that isn't classed as exercise. You're essentially letting your body burn more energy throughout the day, plus all the other benefits of getting outside. The easiest way to do this is to increase your step count. And I like to do this by mapping out a route where you live, simply using the stairs more, parking away from the supermarkets, and basically avoiding public transport to help create this. You're essentially creating a lifestyle that is more active, guys. And look, I hope these tips have helped you guys. And if you'd like more information and more help with your body and want to find out more about personal training or coaching, please drop me a message and I'd be love to chat with you on the phone. Have an amazing day. Chat real soon.